I do.
Okay.
I have prompter, Chris, but I got a bright light right above it.
Oh, do you? I can turn it off.
Yeah, let's try that. If it doesn't make me too dark. Sorry about that, Sheila.
It's all good.
Yeah, you too.
Did that hurt my lighting that much, guys?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. We okay?
No. Yeah, you're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3.
Today we're talking about the risks and rewards of rebranding. Companies like Hooters and Victoria's Secret are trying to adapt to changing consumer expectations and attract a new generation of customers. But the bigger question applies to businesses of every size. How do you evolve your brand without losing the customers who have helped you build it? Joining us today to discuss this is Sheila Rondeau, CEO of MOGXP, an experiential, am I saying that right? Marketing and brand strategy agency, and author of The Art of Experiential Marketing. So Sheila, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Very much appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So let's kind of jump right in here. Before we get into the rebranding, tell us a little bit about MOGXP and your philosophy on what actually makes brands connect with consumers.
We believe face-to-face. In a world where everyone wants to be digital, people really like the engagement, the face-to-face piece of it. And we find that face-to-face marketing, whether it is sampling programs, if it is surprise and delights, that anytime you put brands and consumers together, it changes buying habits.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You were part of building Vitamin Water into a massively successful consumer brand. Looking back, what do you think that company got right about connecting with customers?
When I walked in, they were working on building out a field marketing team. That geo-marketing team was able to go out and create such disruption in the market that convenience stores were requesting it through their supply chain because consumers were demanding it. And at a point, Coca-Cola didn't want to give up shelf space to a competitor. Instead, they decided to buy them so they could actually control how that shelf space worked.
Right. That can be very costly for a company, though, right? To have boots on the ground and to get people to try this new water, right? I mean,
every brand is different, and each of them depend on how you work through the interaction. So sometimes it is a one-on-one, and sometimes it is a group of people with one ambassador or one type of VIP engagement. But when it comes down to it, if you want people to try your product, if you want them to touch it, feel it, smell it, taste it, the best thing to do it is in person.
Yeah, for sure. Many small business owners eventually reach a point where they feel their brand or messaging may no longer connect the way it once did. How do leaders tell whether they truly need a rebrand versus just fixing a deeper operational or business issue?
When it comes down to it, are people getting your message?
Yeah.
Are they responding to it? Are they talking to you? Are you still bringing in the core people you've always brought in? Or do you have a culture issue? Do you have a financial issue? Do you have a distribution issue? All of those things tend to be much more impactful on a brand, and everybody blames it on the marketing and on the branding. And when it comes back to it, if it is marketing, then if you are still at your roots and you're listening to consumers, then you're on track.
Yeah. We are seeing this conversation play out with brands like Hooters and Victoria's Secret right now. What do those examples teach business owners about the risk of changing too much or not changing enough?
Well, Hooters changed over the years. It was a gradual transition, and now they're trying to go back to what they were. They started out as a beach style restaurant.
Yeah.
So, or the restaurant or bar, I should say. And they're getting back to that because they've moved so far one direction. They've alienated a lot of people, and people aren't looking for the same thing. It is no longer considered acceptable to sexualize things as they have been doing.
Right.
And so instead of doing a big red flag, oh, we've changed and we're becoming completely family friendly,
Yeah.
let's go back to our roots and let's talk about beach and that kind of fun location. Where Victoria's Secrets is very different is they have always been a particular style of brand. And when the pendulum very often moves in our culture, they followed the pendulum instead of being authentic to who they were. And what they've done is they've alienated people. You want to be current on what people are talking about. You do not want to do knee-jerk reactions because pendulums change, they move, and that's why it's called a pendulum. It slides one direction, and then it usually slides back in a more extreme the other direction, but it usually ends up in the middle. What I tell brands is stay authentic to who you are. The best example of that, Ben and Jerry's. Ben and Jerry's, regardless of if you like their politics or not, Ben and Jerry's, you know exactly how they're going to be on every issue, and they never waver.
Right.
You know that when you buy their ice cream, it's on their packaging.
Yeah. It's a good point. Very good point. In the case of Hooters and Victoria's Secret, there's this underlying sexual tone to it, right? I mean, really in both cases, it's kind of the first thing that comes to mind. But it seems they have changed. When you say Hooters is getting back to, the beach theme, just as a guy that used to go to Hooters in my younger days, I wasn't necessarily going there for the beach concept. So how do you, when you say they're getting back to it, is that whether it be at a beach or whether it be in the middle of the desert? I think guys that were going there, both for the chicken wings, but also for the atmosphere, is that what they're getting back to?
I think they're going more beach. They're going to calm down or tone down the uniforms a little bit. They're really, as much as we talk about it and always have, Hooters uniforms aren't any more risque than a lot of other places.
Right.
What it comes down to is they've really lost a lot of market share because they realized over the years the same men aren't going to the same places, and they're not bringing in the younger crowd.
Right.
So it needs to be more entertaining and more inviting to a wider audience.
Yeah.
And by going back to their beach roots, it's easier to bring kids in. Not saying that any of us will ever take our kids to Hooters without a major change.
Sure.
But they're looking for a wider demographics where most women are like, why would I bother?
Yeah.
And with a more of a beach theme, yes, there are lots of great restaurants that manage it well.
Yeah, for sure. For smaller businesses that may not have a huge marketing budget, what are some of the practical ways that they can modernize their brand while still staying authentic to what customers already trust about them?
You find the focal points that the customers talk about. And what I talk about it is a voice of the customer. And we run a drill in looking at reviews, not only for the brands that we represent, but competitive brands, to figure out what consumers are really saying about the brands and what are their true issues. You don't want to look at the negative ones. You don't want to look at the really high 4 and 5 star. You want to look at the ones in the middle and see what people are talking about that matter to them. And then you determine what adjustments do you need to make for that core. Again, not one extreme or the other, but what do you get as the biggest reach? Where are people saying, if you change customer service, if you change something that you're doing, it will make an impact. And really looking to the customer to give guidance without it being a knee-jerk reaction,
Sure.
and staying authentic to the brand.
Yeah, for sure. For business owners that are considering a refresh or repositioning, what does a successful reinvention ultimately look like, and what should leaders understand before making that first move?
It should not alienate your existing customers and the ones who brought you to the table. It should solidify that relationship and bring them in closer. It should open it up to an additional consumers, or allow you to give more offerings, which is a deeper spend.
Yeah, exactly. Sheila Rondeau, CEO of MOGXP. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. I know that our viewers and subscribers will get a lot out of our segment here today. So thanks so much. Love to do a follow-up with you. I've got a few questions that time doesn't allow me to ask. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. What, by the way, for those you said on the inside, what is MOG?